medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll most likely never stop feeling like this.
Your parents know you're high. Your friends know you're high. Strangers on the street know you're high.
Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High. Hosted by Uncle Kalei.
You're gonna never come back, you know, all that stupid shit.
And Uncle Erik.
If I could retreat away.
Yeah, you should definitely try that.
This is forever. This is the new reality.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
Close. Anyway, okay. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Everyone Knows You're High, starring the Grow Guru and myself, Erik. This week, our guest is Kelcy, representing herself as a mom in the ganja world. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Welcome to Auntie's Garage. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being courageous enough to come on this podcast and share your story as a mom who uses cannabis. You know, I feel nervous. I feel hesitant to even say it out loud because I know it's a big thing. You know what I mean? And it's not something to take lightly to put this shit out there for the world. You know what I mean? We have tens of people that watch this shit. No, but for real though, thank you. Appreciate it
so much for having me. Yeah, no, I'm excited.
It's a bold move, man, just coming out and just being like, hey, you know, I'm a mom and I use cannabis. You know, it's not a bad thing at all. We're trying to break that stigma. That's what we're trying to do, right? Say, we're responsible individuals. I'm a father. I smoke all the time, you know, so that doesn't say anything against me and my fatherhood. You know, I shouldn't. Now we want to hear from a female's perspective and how they are, you know, and how cannabis helps them through the journey of motherhood. Yeah.
I think it's true. We all know a lot of people out there who are moms who do use cannabis, but you know, that's personal, and they're not gonna profess that to the world,
right?
Or the tens of people,
right?
Listening,
the tens of people watching around the county,
around this neighborhood.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna start off with the thankful joint, and I'm gonna steal it from everybody. Okay.
Okay, I gotta think.
Thankful for the moms out there who are strong and raising daughters, sons, and whole families on their shoulders. So shout out to the fucking moms out there, man. Kudos.
Shout out to the mamas.
It's like taking a sip before a cheers when I do that. Sorry.
Women, we're everything.
Yeah.
Mine is gonna be controversial.
Uh-oh. Fucking
I
Erik.
love it.
I'm gonna shout out and say that I'm thankful for cheap products made from China because you're able to get things you need easily via the mail and the internet at super cheap prices. Probably not the safest practices. Definitely not supporting.
Show us what you got for $2,
Are you being paid by China?
I am not being paid.
This is a fucking
but I got these
paid
fucking
advertisement, it sounds
sick
like.
ass sunglasses for $2.89 on
I love
Temu.
that.
and a fucking Rubik's Cube.
I got a ton of other shit too. Don't get me
Full body
started.
kid tattoos and
But
shit.
but yeah, thanks to them for I don't know, however they get that shit done and being able to produce
This episode's
this kind of shit for $2.89. Free shipping from Hong Kong. Nah, maybe it's not Hong Kong.
That's the
but
most bro, that's so fucking awesome.
Thank you, CCP.
What's it called again? What's the website?
Temu.
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 CCP.com.
Get all your fucking quality products at Temu.com.
Oh no, not quality.
It was fucking sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
The fucking glasses breaks.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'll sneeze and they'll fucking.
But you're fly up until that
disintegrate.
point.
I'm gonna leave them on the rest of the episode. Actually.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what's
All
up.
right.
I love that.
All right. What are you thankful for?
I am so grateful for the ocean.
Nice.
Growing up, I grew up in Laie, and we were one of the only houses with a pool in the backyard.
Cool.
I grew up in my grandma's house, my grandma and grandpa's house, not by choice. You know, my parents couldn't afford to buy a house yet, so we were the ones that lived with them.
Got you.
So the pool was the go-to for me, because why would my mom want to walk us to the beach or drive us to the beach when there's a pool in the backyard? She could just watch us from the house, right? So I never truly had a relationship with the ocean growing up that I do now, ever since moving back a year and a half ago. So it's so beautiful, and I'm just so grateful on so many levels. So that's always the first thing that comes to mind. What are you grateful for? The ocean.
Hell yeah.
The ocean, because I need her like every day, every day.
Without the ocean, I mean, that's our identity as islanders. Like being surrounded
She's
by the ocean.
everything.
Yep.
But not just for us, for everyone. Water is everything.
Oh yeah.
And that's, we're surrounded by so much of it that I feel we can, and I know from experience, take for granted very easily.
Yeah. Nice.
Word up.
Mr. Bud Naked back there.
Oh yeah, shout out to the production crew. We got a full production
you
crew
didn't say
this
what he was thankful
episode.
for.
Thank you
Forget
guys.
it.
No.
Nah, I mean it's close enough.
Just coming back around.
Butt naked.
Look, you passed it back.
It went that way.
Oh, damn, that was fast.
Hit it again. Hit.
I don't want to be like that.
I feel
pretend you are.
it's
Nobody
gonna
can
be
see.
us three in
I'm,
rotation.
Yeah. That's
I don't know. Can I say this? I'm going to say I'm grateful for the Jungle Cup coming up.
Yeah.
yeah. You can say that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andrew, man, putting on a
Shout out to
great
Andrew.
event.
Mm-hmm. Hard work, man.
That's amazing.
He's pulling
I
all
can
that shit like
imagine.
pretty much by himself, yeah?
Right.
What
That's a
is
lot
the
of
Jungle
work,
Cup?
man.
It's like a cannabis competition, I guess you want to call it, for growers. And honestly, like, he does it right the way he does his criteria. It's much like how we do our pheno hunts here.
Mm-hmm.
The requirements are realistic. It's well organized, and he has a really good following. So he brings pretty much the best growers in the state to
I
his
love
event.
it. That's
That was a good
dope.
segue, huh?
Awesome.
Jungle Cup.
So, well, this is going to air already, but you'll see me and the guru out there
Yes, sir.
When is the Jungle Cup?
Saturday.
This weekend,
Saturday?
Man. Yep.
Yeah.
This Saturday. For all the people on the live, you guys can go check it out.
Go
Where
say hi
is
to
it?
the guru.
On the Big Island. Yes? No?
Yep. It's on the Big Island in Pahoa. And if you guys say what's up and mention the podcast, then I got a free pack of seeds from the homie, Professor P, Dynasty Genetics. So I'll have some moose and lobster. I'll have some kiwi on me, and some other like Oregon lemons and stuff like that. So just say what's up, mention the podcast, and you'll get a free pack of seeds.
Stickers. Give him some stickers.
Oh, and stickers? Oh, shit.
Oh, I
Stickers.
found. Did I
Blowjobs.
tell you? I showed you. I found
Yeah.
that stack, the big ones.
Yeah, that's mine.
Hell yeah. We give you some stickers before you
Cop
leave.
with
Some
that
swag.
Hell yeah. Swag.
That's what. What? That's what it's called.
Yeah, we'll give you some stickers.
Stuff we
That's all
all
we got.
get. That's what swag stands for. Stuff we all get.
Oh, yeah?
I love it.
Didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I didn't know that, dude. Fuck.
Swag, bro.
How do you know these things all the time?
Fuck. I'm like in tune with like society, pop culture, and all that shit,
Mr.
son.
Google.
I love
Fuck
it.
yeah, dude.
I got a lot of free time. I watch a lot of TV and YouTube. No.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm just in it.
That's not a bad
I'm in it,
thing.
yo.
As long as you're absorbing it, you're
Mm-hmm.
good.
I know we talked before about like you didn't use during your pregnancy, right?
Yes, but I was reminded of something. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My doctor was totally open to me doing it though. I remember that, but because that wasn't even an option in my mind, because I wasn't even doing it once I found out I was pregnant,
Mhm.
and I wasn't into ganja the way I am now. Then I was into drinking more.
Mhm.
So yeah, it wasn't even a thought. But he was totally open, and again, Washington State is totally legal. So you
Right.
smell this everywhere, and it's
Right.
actually you know, people are like, oh, the smell, the smell. I'm like, would you rather smell cigarettes everywhere?
Right.
Because I would rather smell this everywhere. We'd smell it everywhere. And it's literally normal. Like, no one blinks. Like, it's just, no one freezes up or like, makes a face, anything. It's just so accepted. It's so nice.
Yeah. It's good. It's good that they embrace
vibe.
that. Because here in Hawaii, I know that I had a friend. They literally taped a bag to his daughter when she was born to collect urine because they were cannabis users. So he was like, you know, he felt like that was a fucking straight infringement on their family's rights that they would
Wait,
do that to the
who
daughter.
did that to the daughter?
I don't want to. Oh, the doctors.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
to piss test the baby
To see if she had
That's
cannabis in her
a
system.
violation in so many ways. Oh, so
yeah.
do
What?
they do that for all
Yes.
babies? Do they check for alcohol? Do they check for all other
I don't
drugs?
know.
Do they? No, of course
I
not.
figured fucking
No,
they
they
would,
don't.
right? See?
No,
See?
I feel like that's so biased and prejudiced.
Yeah, like what's their reasoning for having
Are all
to run those tests on a newborn baby? I mean, run the other tests, make sure
Well,
it can
it
hear
was
and
a
see.
CPS ordered test, yeah.
Was there a history of like bad parenting and shit or something? Like, why did they have a
That's my
reason to test her?
point.
You're so
It's
goddamn
probably the
cool with those
ganja.
fucking glasses.
I know, right?
Can't even look at you right now. You're emitting this bright light. It's just fucking. Can't look directly at
No,
you.
but-
So glad you.
I
Like
mean,
Elton
it just
John.
yeah, you're right. It does seem like an
with dreads.
infringement of like your freedoms and privacy to just be like testing your baby, unless there was like a history that gave them reason to do it.
But even that,
still,
like,
yeah, yeah.
you're just a cannabis user. You know what I mean? Like, fucking. If you found anything else, maybe. But you went to great lengths to prove that these people were
What if
using
you have a
cannabis.
medical
That's my
card?
point.
What if you have a card?
He had a medical card at that time, so
Yeah, but he never gave birth to the baby.
the wife did also.
Yeah. Did she have a card?
Yes.
That's what I asked. Did she have a
Yes.
card? He did. Oh, did she?
Well,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know my boy has, guaranteed, and both of them in the house have.
But anyway,
so.
yeah, I'm not arguing. I agree. It's fucked up.
No, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you have risk, and that's like, that plays in my head as a parent. Like, fuck, dude. Like, these kids, some kids guaranteed have gotten taken away because they've tested positive for cannabis. Like, I know, like, it doesn't look good, you know,
Be
by
interesting to know the
Western fucking
statistics.
standards, but at the same time, like, you got to look at what's there. You know, like, this
Right.
mom probably drank in her
But I know
during
some, like-
her pregnancy.
Like I was telling
You
you,
don't know.
I was telling you earlier. Like I know some or a mom who was drug tested during her pregnancy by her doctor. But then I also know moms who never had a drug test during their entire pregnancy.
And
Like
then
it wasn't
over
a
here,
thing.
my OB was like, stress kills. Oh, Mahalo sis.
Right.
Stress is the worst thing if you need. And I was like, no, I'm good. You know, like
Yeah.
that wasn't even an option. But it's all about perspective.
Right.
And Washington State is just, it's so diverse with culture, people. Like that's where Starbucks, Amazon, Microsoft was all founded, you know, so you're just surrounded by so many different energies, inspiring energies, but everything is just so open and like
Progressive.
innovative, right?
Yep.
It's just you have to be open, and I don't know, I think we definitely need to catch up.
No, and I think the
over here.
legality of it in Washington versus other places would have something to do with a doctor like suggesting it. Right, that was in Washington, right?
But it's federally
Yeah.
illegal, though.
No, but still, though, doctors who are in an area where it's legal at the state level, they might be more prone to be a little more open. You know what I mean?
True.
But
You know what I
what
mean?
he
Who could tattle
said
on them?
is stress is the number one killer. And so, like, we go back to intention, like how you said, everything, what is your intention for doing it? As a mom, even if you're pregnant or not, what is your intention? What is my intention? What is your intention? Every day that you do it, you know, it's just, that's what it comes down to. So it's just very interesting when people choose to police certain intentions or certain situations. Yeah, everything in moderation. I know women that drink wine kind of regularly, not every day, but it's like monthly, you know, and it's their doctors are okay with it or just, and again, I'm not, you know,
Wait, while pregnant?
red wine is proven to have benefits
It's theoretic,
and
dude.
small, and it's, and
You're not
it
abusing
always-
it. That's why you're just
that's
having
the
like
point.
a
It
glass.
always comes back to dosage. So what is wrong with microdosing or microdosing edibles for moms who are hapai, right?
And here's the thing, like, what I would want to see is more data being done on these cases. Like, I want the government to put their money towards studies like this. That way it's like, okay, no, this is why.
Right, or yes.
Or yes, this is why. Right now, we're shooting in the fucking dark.
Well, everything is anecdotal. It's just moms who say their kids are gifted. Like, I smoked weed while I was pregnant. My son or daughter is gifted.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of them sound. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I'm trying to be funny at the same time. But, but all that anecdotal evidence is got to stand for something that it does have an effect on these kids who do come out more emotionally mature and like in tune with shit and like more receptive, just a little.
I've never met a mom who was smoking cannabis that anything was wrong with their kid.
Right. Or like, and they might even be a little bit on the better side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, your kid screams a lot. Like, I drank a lot.
I was making a joke earlier. I was just trying to be funny, but you might like this with the intention thing you're saying, and you might have heard of this, but you know how like you hold a crystal and you can set an intention in a crystal and do all that shit and like get energy, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's on cannabis? What's on buds?
Trichomes is an oil gland.
Oh, it's not
It's
little
not a fucking
crystals.
crystal,
Crystal.
man. God
Little.
damn it.
They look.
I
I
have to
know.
I was gonna say they're
I
like
have to
tiny
sever
little
that
crystals, yo.
fucking
Metaphorically,
bridge, dude.
they were crystals.
Talk
They
about
look
shooting in the
like-
fucking dark, dude. That was like the shot in the pitch black. Damn it. Holy fuck, dude.
But I was gonna say you could like set your intention when smoking weed, and you're like putting that
Oh,
energy into all these thousands of
always.
little crystals.
No, I mean, technically,
Hater,
no. But the
kill my metaphysical
sorry.
dreams.
Nothing from this podcast yet, Eric.
But the plant
we've been
can
doing this
still
shit for
hear
so
you.
long.
The water in your bong can hear you. Like there's energy everywhere.
Yeah,
You
energy
can
everywhere.
You can still
it.
set your intention before
No, yeah,
every
it's
set.
still ceremonial, and you can still like use it as
Absolutely.
yeah. But damn, I really
But
thought
to
it
each
was.
their own.
But that's what everybody says. Like, oh, look the crystals. So I thought, oh, crystals.
I always do
I'm dumb.
metaphorically. People refer to it
What?
as crystals.
Right. Yeah.
yes.
Right. My bad for thinking it was literal.
Save it. Save it.
Now you know it's not crystals. It's oil glands.
Fuck you, man. You've been smoking that shit for fucking how long already? That's the crystals, bro.
I know. That's why I get like.
You get the energy.
Yeah.
The energy is everywhere. It's just about us tapping into that shit.
You know, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be fucking honest. I can't see the benefits of crystals. That's right, I said it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not for
That's
everybody.
perfectly fine. Right. I was just gonna say.
It's pretty. I like it. Like
Yeah.
I appreciate the grains of the stones.
They
and,
look
you know?
cool.
And yeah, it's cool, man. But like, I don't know. It's hard to prove.
Yeah, I mean,
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel like there has been experiments done with like what crystals can and can't do. I'm just not the guy to fucking tell you.
Look it up on them.
I'm not fucking the guy, but I know there's something to them and how they can like fucking store information and shit. And like, I don't know,
No,
there's
so
something
it's
about
basically
them.
just like grounding, right? So how have you guys ever heard of like if you fly anywhere to adapt to that time zone the fastest, you like go as soon as you land or whenever you get to wherever you're gonna like stay, whatever, you just like take your shoes off and just walk in the grass, just walk on the ground, ground yourself to the earth there to like have your body align with that time zone so you don't get jet lag, or it's supposed to help like decrease jet lag. Basically it's that same thing as we ground. So the ocean is a huge grounding source for me. I'm double water sign. I don't know how into zodiac, probably not a lot of into zodiacs.
This
or
motherfucker don't
horoscopes.
believe. He's like, oh, fuck. But I know enough to carry a conversation, so let's fucking do it and make this motherfucker uncomfortable.
I've literally only been interested in learning about myself and trying to understand myself. But because I'm a double water sign, out of my big three, water grounds me the most, the ocean. When we were in Washington, we needed to go to rivers. Like our bodies like needed the water. And I'm so grateful that we made friends. When we bought our house, we lived right next to a reservation. And so I ended up working at the casino over there, making friends as a cocktail server. And so I would wear a fake pool kini in my ear, right? So those who knew. Like, that's how I could tell, like, those who are actually from the islands or had that connection to the islands, right? Anyways, made friends from that tribe, like high up in that tribe, and just like got to know people. We had a little food business that we tried out, making candies and shit, just for Polynesians in our area, sorry. And the natives like loved it. And then we realized and we learned that like the Native Americans are just like, they're like cousins to the Polynesians. Like everything is family, food, like good vibes, and they're just very in tune, like how we are.
A lot of indigenous cultures are like that.
Right.
Family is number one.
That was just my first like experience though, living near anyone other than like Polynesian cultures, other indigenous, I guess. So that was such a beautiful experience, but just experience the waters over there. So amazing.
Was it the same as if you just jump in the ocean here?
No, it's different. First of all, it's cold as fuck. It's cold, it's because it's coming straight from the mountain.
How about the grounding?
Ooh.
Were you as grounded there in the rivers?
Hawaii is special in that way.
Yes,
Hawaii has
I
a
was just
different
gonna
fucking
say,
thing.
our waters are healing.
Hell yeah.
I heard this thing
So,
that whatever longitude or whatever latitude Hawaii is on, whatever parallel it is on Earth, there are similar things on other planets if you were to give those those planets the same parallels and whatever. Like on Mars, there's like a mountain on one, and on another planet is like the big storm is on that like same parallel. So like there's something about that ley line on planets that has energy, and fucking Big Island Mauna Kea is like right on
I was
one.
gonna say powerful energy. No, so okay, going back to the casino, one night I was working, and like I said, I got to meet a lot of natives. Well, this person randomly came up to me. They're like, "Oh, you're from Hawaii." Everyone knew me as the Hawaiian girl because the flower, and they randomly told me this story about people from, I don't know if it was the Tulalip tribe or if that person was just indigenous to another tribe in Washington State, but they knew a father and a son who came to our islands to study, like under a kahuna in some practice, and they both ended up passing. Like that's how strong it was. Too strong. The mana was too strong for them. And this person was telling me this, like, yeah, your guys' land is so powerful, like everything there, like your guys' culture is so powerful. And I was just like, oh dang, I was like, I'm so sorry, but yeah, you're right, it is.
Sorry for your loss.
No, I didn't know how to but I was just like, oh my gosh, like I
You were
wasn't
like,
expecting
yeah!
that. No, but
That's so awesome they went there. Oh fuck,
I'm
not a happy
but
ending.
it confirms how powerful not just our land, not just our waters, but our people are. And I truly feel like we're sleeping on ourselves. And yeah, we just have to figure out ways around things to level up with the colonizers who keep coming and settlers who keep coming and coming.
You know how I'll tie this all in to what we were talking about before. De-evolution, right? So us as indigenous people, we had it right while we're here.
Yes.
So the more Western influence we have, the more we de-evolutionize and takes us further away
And we're
from our
lost.
land.
Yes.
Look at gentrification. Boom, right there. Fucking guys moving to Seattle. In Washington State, they're moving to Nevada, Oregon, California, because the cost of living is so expensive. Directly caused to the gentrification of Hawaii,
But do you think the bigger cause, these are all what you're describing are all symptoms of a bigger thing, and that's like the lack of realization that there is a connection to everyone and everything. Because people will exploit things because they don't see themselves in that thing, right? They exploit resources, they exploit people because there's a disconnect.
Right.
Exactly.
So is the bigger problem that disconnect
Yes.
and realizing, or people thinking that there's a difference and all this shit, and or
Or they're not thinking because they've never felt it.
I was getting more along the
Maybe.
lines of like our cultural practices that kept us rooted. You know, like the kapu system. You know, we totally go away from that and have DLNR fucking back us up on that shit. That's natural resources, you know. Colonization, people coming over in mass quantities. Now you got to think about fucking natural resources where we didn't. You know, our ancestors had it down to a fucking science that we have this much resources for this much people, and this is how we're gonna make it work. Nowadays, it's just fucking capitalism at its fullest. You know, we gotta kind of fucking think about it and regroup and recalibrate and think about what's important.
you don't think that if Hawaii was left alone at Kalakaua, where it got taken over, if it never happened and Hawaii was left its own country, you don't think it would look and feel similar to it is today with our technology and our society? It'd just be like its own country?
True, but the influence of capitalism plays a big
Still
role.
gonna have that though.
Yeah, but it'll just be an idea.
Look at like Oha and all these places. Like,
Yeah, but dude,
there's like Hawaiians who are fucking over Hawaiians,
oh,
right?
dude, yeah, Hawaiians be fucking Hawaiians nonstop.
Back then, even Hawaiians was fucking over Hawaiians. Sorry, yeah,
No,
getting
no,
deep.
no.
Getting
No, not in the ancestral times. I'm talking about like that set of rules, that mindset. You know, yeah, we're gonna have Western influences coming into what we're dealing with in the 21st century, but our core values and what was held important to us would be a lot different now. Because I can fucking drive down the road. There's a bus stop at the corner. 9 out of 10 kids are staring at their phone. You know? Fucking, out of those 9 kids, they all look the same as far as how they dress and how they act and everything. So there's an influence that's being imposed on these kids. They're not even
Absolutely.
fucking knowing this shit.
Right.
And now, like, that is, to me, how they're getting us separated from our culture is by influencing the young ones and getting them stuck to this, you know,
Oh, yeah, for
template in
sure.
which they have to act.
For sure.
So I felt this, I can't remember how many years ago, but it could have been when everything was going on with the Mauna, because I felt like that's when something inside of me like shook and I had all these questions, like all of a sudden, like a lid off of a jar open, and now I had all these questions that I wanted answered because I felt so disconnected. That's why. And I feel like our generation is truly the generation where it's split, and it's you have half who are just doing as they're told, passing down what they're told, and then the other half who are like, wait,
Bugs in here.
maybe not this, we'll pass this down, but maybe not this, like this works, this don't anymore. Let's do this way. I don't want to do this way, you know, this wasn't necessarily right. Let's fix this.
You're talking about
And
learning
just
through generations.
yes, in just everything. And I say that because I feel like this ties into how we're going backwards, right? With each generation, it should get better. So why is it not, you know? And I just have a very interesting perspective because my mom is Hawaiian, but my dad is Tongan. And he came straight from Tonga. He was born in Tonga and came with, you know, the Fijians, the Maoris, the Samoans, all that helped to build Laie, right, to what it is today. Has a lot to do with the church and the Polynesian Cultural Center. So my dad is an immigrant, first generation, you know, and so I saw things from his standpoint and his parents' ways of doing things. And then there's my mom, where, like I said, I come from a very educated family. My grandpa's a first principal of Kuku Elementary. Everything is order, everything is education, everything is religion, you know, there's a way of doing things and this. So I truly feel like I got the best of both worlds because I truly got to see struggle in a sense, you know, of like my grandparents trying to find their way, working at the Polynesian Cultural Center, growing up around our different Polynesian cousins and the families and just the way that they did things and just learning. And that's one of the things or reasons why I'm so grateful for being raised on that side, because it is our own little melting pot that we have, you know, going to Kahuku, graduating from Kahuku. Excuse me. But yeah, our people are so amazing, and I just feel like we deserve so much. We deserve so much. Our Hawaiian people deserve so much. In Washington, it was so interesting to see how tribes like made money and gave it back to their people, and how that money system worked. And I was like, wait, why do we not have this? Like,
Right.
I was just like, why do our Hawaiian people at least not have this? You know, like, I don't know. It's just we really got the short end of the stick.
A lot of it is just mentality because we're working from home, or we bring home with us. So like working in contract work, doing side jobs and stuff, I'd have work alongside Filipinos.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hear them talking about how they would take the money from the job and they'd send it back to the Philippines because the appreciated value of the dollar, right? So whatever dollar it was to the pesos, right? Filipino?
Sure.
Raja? Okay. Well, it was like a big jump. So they would actually work in America and send over the money, and the exchange would be lucrative for them. Us Polynesians take home with us wherever we go. So like our ohana is the people we take care of. Our tribe, if you're exporting Hawaiians to the mainland, we just take care of our own up there.
Right.
You know, we are the minority, yeah. And
Yes.
sending it home wouldn't really do much because the cost of living is so cheap where they're at. There's no appreciated value coming back home to the islands. So that's probably why we don't see it, you know.
But
well,
like,
I'm talking about like tribal cards. Like they had these tribal cards where like
Oh.
it didn't matter what tribe you were from. People that came to lit up to gamble and stuff from a different tribe, they just showed it. They got same discount, same everything, like
Word?
indigenous. Yeah,
it's
and
like your
just like
Kama'aina card.
no, like the U.S. gives them, like the government
Right,
gives
just
them
kidding.
like money and resources as well as whatever their tribe brings in.
Like Hawaii isn't, and Hawaiians aren't really recognized
That's
on
my
the same
point.
level as like
I saw
Native
that
Americans
heavy.
and shit, because for one, Hawaiians don't have reservations,
Homestead.
but that's what you got.
But-
You got Hawaiian homelands who's like got a fucking
It's
list
not
as
even
long
just
as
that, yeah.
fucking God knows what. You know
That's
what I
my
mean? But I'm
point.
just saying, like,
Our
they're not
islands are
like
sacred.
treated the same as.
I agree.
It's kind of fucked up.
We're not even recognized. You said it, and I saw that heavily.
Trippy, yeah.
Like Native Hawaiians should get a card, and if you go to the mainland and go to a res and fucking go somewhere, you should be treated
Or
as
how
and
about
also First Nations people.
Just around our own islands or on each island, kind of thing. Different places we get discounts. Specific
Come on.
places.
Bro, I
No,
asked
but
That's
it's
what we-
different from Kama'aina.
No,
It's like
yeah.
it's more for us because we're Kanaka Maoli. That's different.
That's rights right there. You know, we don't
No,
have
but that's
those-
what I mean. Like, the state of Hawaii feels like, oh, that's what you get. You're Kama'aina. That's what you're. That's
It's not
what.
even
And
a state
that's-
30
thing,
cents
though.
off a
That's not even
gallon,
a
bro.
state thing. That's like a strictly voluntary thing.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
not like
yeah.
the state's like, you need to offer Kama'aina. No,
You know
it's
what?
like,
You get a
yeah,
ridiculous.
it's like a voluntary thing from
You know what you-
businesses.
Right.
It should be, but I don't know if
And
anybody's
Kama'aina
even
is
like
not
fighting
Kanaka.
for that.
Right?
Yeah.
But is
Kama'aina's
anybody
not
in the
Kanaka,
ledge or any Hawaiian organization fighting for something like that?
Brenton Ava. Shout out to Brenton Ava.
Saving all the chickens, yeah? So you don't eat all the chickens.
Another red radar.
Because like the state of Hawaii they don't want gambling for one. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
But even if they did allow it in the state, it'd be private and it'd be like that kind of shit. But if it was like how on the mainland is, where it's like on a reservation, the casino owned, operated by a tribe, money goes back
They
into
could
the
allow
tribe.
that in Hawaii.
You know what I
bro.
mean?
Fuck.
No, yeah. You know what I mean?
Bunch of worms.
I don't know how that would even look like here.
What you mean?
Like where?
There's a way.
Oh, there's
it's-
so much fucking cool places.
Some of the reses though up there,
There's Gundun
I don't know
and
how they are in
Pakalolo.
Washington, but I've been to the Midwest. Some of the the lands that they own are bigger than some of our islands.
Yeah, but no, you
Nah,
can't.
that might be an exagration. I
No,
could be
no,
wrong.
yeah.
Maybe bigger than like
But with what we
Molokai.
have, like there's
There's ways to do it.
ways, yeah.
So I went to a Red Hawk Casino in Sacramento. Fucking into the mountain. Boop. Like it's underground
Ooh,
casino.
was it beautiful? Must be
Maybe the
so
res land is like
beautiful.
just the perimeter of the property. Like you have a reservation, but the only thing on it is the casino, but still all
Right.
the money and proceeds and all that shit
Right,
goes still
that's
back
what's
to.
the
generating-
tribe.
Exactly.
Yeah. Come on, Oha.
But they get to kind of run the reservation how they
Well, I
want
was
to a
gonna
little
say
bit. Yeah?
they do because they have their own police.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the
They'll jack you.
police, they don't.
No,
It's not the same as like as the town, if that makes sense.
Reservation
It's
police.
only strictly for the res.
like I seen it depicted on a TV show or something, but it's probably based in reality where like a state cop came on the res and was doing something, and the res police told him get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like you're on
It's
our shit.
different
Like
rules.
we'll take care
it
of
really
it.
is.
The only people that can go on there and act like that is the Fed. So like state.
I don't know. Even still, they
even
probably
the
will.
Fed can. They gotta follow federal rules still. The,
No,
the
that
Fed
makes
is the only
sense.
people that can
The
come in and be
government,
like, oh, you
right.
guys cannot do this.
That's the worst. I
But
feel
yeah,
like you still flex
like,
on the
'cause I was
federal
watching
government.
some shit on that too, where yeah, like it was like real shit, like body cam footage of like the cops like kicking off like state police,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
oh you can't be here and like get the fuck off our land, like fuck it, like tell them fuck off pretty much. But yeah, the feds can come in and say shit to them though, because it's not. That's the
That's
thing.
kinda
That's the
fucked
thing
up.
about yeah, no, that's the thing why it's kind of an illusion, yeah. The whole what they. I mean, you know, it's good they got their land, but at the same time, they're really still controlled by the
Right.
U.S. You know, by the federal
Right.
government. They still set the rules for them because that's what Department of Interior they deal with, yeah. So that's why a lot of Hawaiians don't want that. Like I'm personally against it because to me it don't make sense.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like you're not really giving us back our freedom if we do that. You're still controlling us to a certain extent. You know, I
The
feel
old
like-
smoke and mirrors.
yeah.
Okay, so then it needs to be our people sourcing that shit for our own people.
Truth.
But people cannot get together to do it. That's the problem.
That's the biggest pickle.
That goes back to what I was saying earlier. The biggest problem is the fact that everybody doesn't feel like we're connected. If everybody just realized we're all fucking one, you'd work together instead of fighting over dumb shit. If Kalinoa and Oha can never get along, how are we ever gonna unify? The Greens said it, right?
Well, fuck Oha.
Yeah, I feel that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people feel that way, but
It's a state agency. They're never gonna do anything for the people. It's a state agency.
that's what I'm saying. Even the fact that people are like, "Fuck
That can
Oha,"
be-
that's a
And
disconnect.
people that are not from here can vote.
Right.
You know what I mean?
People not. What do you mean?
That's the big.
People who are not-
non-Hawaiians can vote in Oha.
Or
it's
just
not fair.
how people can.
Yeah, dude. Somebody filed lawsuit as like discrimination. That's why. So they got a fucking non-Hawaiians.
I don't vote.
And most
Wait, as like a
and
public,
most
just
Hawaiians
the
don't
general
vote.
public can vote in Oha board.
Yeah. Anybody. It's everybody who gets a ballot gets to vote
I
for
didn't know
Oha.
that.
Yeah. So it's kind of rigged. State agency thing. Yeah.
I guess that's true. I guess it's
Kinda
better
really
than being fucking appointed by people you don't know, though. At least in that sense, the public has a say.
Sure about that?
I mean, weird. You like have the public vote on certain things, but not on certain things. Like what? Some or not all. Well, I don't know how that shit works.
How about not Oha?
But
Not all.
things that have to do with Hawaiian matters should
Be in Hawaiian hands.
absolutely
Yeah.
all day, every day. But it's just crazy how much we have to say that.
So, back to the women.
Oh yeah. Why do we?
No, that was a hard right turn, but it was a cool right turn. Like what we were talking about was fucking pretty dope. Everybody living here, Kanaka or not, should really adhere to that. You know, we are being treated differently. We should come together, work together, find a common goal that's reached. You know what I mean? That we can reach, and work towards it without fucking pissing on each other's feet.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm guilty as charged, bruh, as far as like not doing my duty in making sure this happens, you know? So
Yeah, and another way we can bridge the gap and is break the stigma around cannabis, which is what we're here to do and why you're here to
Kill
talk
it.
about it. Because I'm wondering, like, so like, obviously you smoke. Like, have you felt stigmatized by the general public? Have you felt you needed to hide it? Here's a question. When was the first time you got high?
Oh my gosh. I
Oh,
was
this
hoping
fucker.
we could avoid this question. No, you guys are going to laugh because, guys, I didn't even smoke yet.
What do you mean? I
was
just seen you
like-
smoke.
No.
No.
When the first time I got high, I was a senior in high school. I was with a girlfriend who smoked. And we met up with one of my husband's cousins, actually. one of our other friends who smoked as well, and we all jumped into her car, and they were smoking, and my dumbass was like, "Oh, no, I'm good. You know, I don't smoke this and that."
up.
That part, I was so ignorant because I didn't know anything, right? Because I didn't smoke yet. We left their session, and I'm driving, and I have to pull into the shopping center. We were up at the Point, Laia Point, and I have to pull into the shopping center by Foodland and shit. And I call my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time. I was like, "Babe," and he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Can you come drive?" I was like, "I don't know what the fuck is." I was like, "I think I'm high." I was like, "What the fuck?" And my girlfriend's cracking up because she's like, you know, she was the one who smoked and shit. But I was like, this is my dad's car. Like, my dad gave me this car, but I'm like gonna get, you know, I can't let anything happen to this car. And it was an old DeVille, you know, it wasn't anything special, but like I tried to take as best care of that thing as I could. So he came and he had to drive us back to Kuku. It was the funniest shit.
Up until then,
Shout
had you
out
like,
to the boyfriend, man.
but like
Coming
up
in
in,
clutch.
like what were your thoughts on like weed up until that point? Were you like against it? Did you know like?
Well, I come from a very religious background, so I wasn't. Okay, I guess I will say I was against it, but not. I was programmed to be against it. I'll say that. I never really had an opinion because I don't like to judge things that I don't experience for myself.
Sure.
You know, I've always been like that though. So, I just knew that I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is this feeling? I knew that that feeling was different,
Right.
and that's so funny from just getting stoned from being in their chamber sesh. But,
So what was the first time you like intentionally got high? Like of your own free will, you did it, you know, you're like, I'm doing this. This is my decision, not somebody hotboxing me in. And
it was probably right after that incident because I was like, well, I feel like I felt what it feels like anyways. I might as well try it. So I'm sure, I honestly don't remember.
That's a good one right there. It's
But-
like, I don't remember.
was it like a
I really don't.
just like I felt it, like I did it, like I pretty much did it already. Might as well just do it again.
This is not my first time
And
getting
that,
high.
well, I guess that's why I remember that story because I didn't even intend to get high.
Right,
And I
right.
got fucking, I
That's
was on
dope.
cloud 9 driving down the Point and I'm like, whoa. And so it's just like, okay, I was like, sis, I gotta pull into the shopping center.
She's
'cause I was
fucking
like, what-
rolling. Man.
Well, because I wasn't mentally, because I never had experienced that. So I was
Right.
just like, what is this? And trying to like drive, you know. But don't worry, I parked. Everything was fine. Yeah, babe. Yeah. Okay. So.
How was the parking
anyways.
job? No.
Do you feel like you're like lied to? I guess because you said you're like programmed to not like it. So after you did it, how did you feel? Did you feel like, oh, this isn't everything they told me it was?
Ooh, fucking Mike.
Ooh, I think it was like experimental for me because I think with ganja or just anything, right, dosage is so important. Like know your limits, handle your shit, right? And I was trying to figure all of that out, and it's just so different from alcohol, and I wasn't used to the ganja, so yes and no. I feel like right after high school when I first started experimenting with it, it was more of like trying to figure it out, but also party scene as well. After I had my kids though, because I stopped doing everything once I started having kids, and I started up again in like 2020. It was different this time. It was more intentional. Knowing that there it was like completely legal. So then it like almost encourages you to like learn about it. Like it's not something shamed upon. It's not something that's like looked down upon. It's like it's not taboo as it should or shouldn't be, you know?
Right.
So is there like a big difference in when you think about like you did your research on it and then from what you were told, you know, in like the religious side, was there like a big difference? Would you say like, oh, they said this about it, but when I did the research, like it kind of doesn't match up, or you know what I mean? Is it kind of different in that way?
Yes, absolutely. The big difference.
I don't know how old you are,
Big
but
difference.
we all kind of grew up in the DARE program where it
Oh my
was
gosh,
like
yes.
hammered. Yeah, okay. Like, you know, that was
Oh
like
my gosh,
a
yes.
recurring theme through school, elementary school is drugs are bad, okay?
But this,
Like-
see, in that part right there, stop. It's not a drug.
But that's what I'm just
But that's what we were conditioned
yeah,
and
yeah.
programmed to believe.
That's what we're
So I think
programmed to
not even
do.
just in religion, it's
Gruff the
just in
crime dog.
society,
I'm
period.
sure it was worse for her.
Take a
though,
bite out of
in
crime.
in your religion, that I'm assuming you were being from that side. Like that's pretty hardcore. Like yeah.
It is to do it non-medicinally, you know, like to do it like for fun or for free,
Really?
recreational.
It's accepted medicinally. now?
Well, now it is, I think.
Really?
But that's just I think that's based on the
But-
stigma around it changing societally, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like for that.
Because you think about it right now, like the not even to like take it away from the religious side, like the ultra conservative right who would be against, you know, they were all about the war on drugs. Now
Now
they're
they're
like
for it.
into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Because
it-
they see the money.
Right, but-
Right, but
But-
that's not right, because how many aren't there still like thousands of people in jail still for marijuana?
They're working on
Yeah.
an expungement, but we all know how that works.
Exactly. Like,
you know, the real problem there is that it's the private prison system.
Yeah, I guarantee.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
we're getting off topic.
oh
man.
yeah,
No, yeah,
sorry,
yeah, but
sorry.
anyway.
This
Straight
can go
down
in
a fucking
so
another
many.
rabbit hole.
Right. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
But like
sorry,
growing up
sorry.
in the DARE program, I definitely felt had an effect on our outlook. In that, for me, definitely, like you know,
They still have there.
Yes, they do.
they do.
Yep, my daughter went to it.
I
I don't know
love
what they need to
it.
bring back. I don't think they have anymore.
Is it voluntary? Or is it like
No.
just like
No, it's part of their class.
Officer Ford shows up on the Thursday and you just gotta
Oh,
go?
yeah, you-
Because if there's an option, I'm telling fucking take my kids out of that bullshit. You lie, I'll tell them.
We need to bring back McGruff. We don't have
McGruff
McGruff
the
no more.
crime
McGruff the crime dog.
Yeah, you
bullshit.
should-
That's
You
what's
see the
wrong with
fucking-
society today. We don't have McGruff trucks and
You
stuff
got
no more.
Bryson responding
McGruff
to a
truck.
fucking crime.
I know. I'm gonna get him a McGruff fucking outfit.
I feel like
Pretty gay, so.
Let's bring it back.
off topic, but the Oceanic Cable still have the McGruff stickers on them.
They do.
Yeah.
I used to work for
Oh, do
Hankels
they?
and McCoy,
Yeah.
and then they had the fucking decal.
That's a
that
very
peel
Hawaii
off.
thing. People who are watching this or listening to me and I will have no idea what the
Do
hell
they
we're
still
talking.
advertise it though? Because I don't watch TV.
I don't either.
Right.
'Cause I remember they used to advertise it all the time. Now.
So after you first tried it and got high, or got high and then tried it,
Mm-hmm.
did it become like a regular thing for you?
Like I said, I was trying to experiment between that and, like I said, I liked drinking at the time. So it was, I liked it, but it wasn't my thing yet. Not until after having kids and learning about it, trying to understand it, and then just being like more intentional just with things in general. You know, by that time, by 2020, I was 30. You know, I was going into my 30th year. So it was just like
So this is when you're already in.
we were in Seattle still, or
Okay.
Washington State still.
How
yes.
old were you, or when did you move there,
I was 19.
So how long were you there?
or what year was that?
So so I moved there in 09.
So many questions. So
no,
fast.
No. Sorry, the timeline is interesting because we were there 10 years total.
Okay.
But 09 to 2012, we were there, had our first two, and I just had this epiphany, like I missed home so bad, like home, like family, our close family. We didn't have family. So coming home, we moved home in 2012, and we were home for 2 years, and we did everything. Like he worked for the state, but because that has good benefits but doesn't pay the best, especially living on our side where we don't have apartments, we don't have
you have houses with nice yards. And
We
big
have
cost-
houses,
Yeah, you have
but-
like nice fucking property out there.
right, it's houses for like retired people or people who can afford, you know, a
Yeah.
whole mortgage. That's why you see so many families living together. We didn't want to live like that, so we tried for 2 years. And he actually got into the pipe fitters union, but in order to, like, I guess, get inducted into it, you have to work. So he passed everything. So he was just waiting to work, and he was waiting for like almost 6 months. And at that time, I was just like, okay, we need to do something. So we left and we went back to Washington State, and things just like flowed for us there. And so that was 2014. So we were home for 2 years. moved back 2014, and then came back. In 2021.
How do you feel
Towards the
that
end.
ganja has helped you, or
Oh, I was gonna ask a question.
not? Sorry, you've been talking this whole time. I was going.
I was-
fucking joints. My turn. So
My questions were
how-
leading to other questions.
Well, here's
as
my
like
question.
proper conversations do.
Well, I was rolling a joint listening this whole time, and I had to go fucking off topic. Well, not off topic, but before smoking cannabis, having your kid, versus after cannabis and having your kid, what are the benefits and what are the disadvantages? I'd say.
I'd say it's just benefits, honestly.
Okay.
If you use her, and I'll say her because she is a female plant, with intention, even if it's for your mental health, whatever your intention is, you'll receive peace, you'll receive that comfort. And I don't have any negatives, only positives, and I feel like that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I never tried her this way or never had this relationship or connection with her right out of high school. Like I said, I started my family really young.
So you weren't a regular user prior to
2020.
2020.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wait.
Better late than never.
So like right
Right.
before you moved back.
Right.
So you were there when it was not rec legal, and then the switch
went over.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? Did you? I mean,
I
Damn.
was heavy into religion still. I was trying to take my kids to church. You know,
Uh-huh.
I was like, they were still little at the time, because I think it was like, was it 2013 that it switched
Okay.
over to 100%, recreationally legal. But yeah, while my kids were small, I was just trying to be the best mom, because I started a family so young. I didn't want to do anything wrong, or I just wanted to try to do things as best or as responsible as possible. I felt like there was like added pressure.
yeah. So that whole time you're trying to do all that and stay away from it while raising your.
Open to, like, we would go to hemp fest and stuff,
Okay,
like
okay.
open to being around it, but just I didn't do it.
Uh-huh.
Didn't partake.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why did that change? Like, when did you start, when you got into it, like, what made you kind of be more of a regular user?
Can I see your concentrates?
I feel like I was going through another like energetic or like spiritual shift in 2020, because this was before COVID hit. And it's so funny because, not to talk
Wait,
about
2020 is
the
right in the middle of the pandemic.
Well, the beginning. So like this was like January 2020, and everything started the beginning
Shit was popping
February,
off, yeah.
because the casino I worked at that I told you, the hospital with the first U.S. case, recorded, was 5 minutes from the casino. So me and my husband actually caught that
Lock it down.
the beginning of February. But anyways, that's a different story. So
But
it
you
was
guys
the
had
beginning
super immunity
of,
from the beginning then. If you
no,
caught
we
it
really did, because I
Yeah.
got it again in November when my nephew lived with us, and that's how I knew. I was like, see, I knew it, because in February they didn't even have tests yet. Really, it was like very scarce, so they weren't giving it to everyone yet. And by the time we could even get out of bed, it was like a week later, because that's how bad we got hit. So we didn't get to test them, but when I tested in November, it was positive, and it was all the same symptoms, but not as bad. So
So do you think that just being surrounded by it, being legal there, like influenced and changed your mind in a way about it?
absolutely,
Yeah.
it just opened the perspective. Like I said, even while I was there, for a majority of the time, I was taking my kids to church, right? We were trying to be good parents. We weren't doing it, but we weren't against it. Like I said, it was everywhere, and it was beautiful. Like I said, I would rather smell that. I worked in a casino where all I smelled was cigarette smoke. So,
yeah.
I would rather smell
Jesus Christ.
this.
I don't understand why people wrap it around the outside. It just drips
Well, I already rolled it.
No, I know.
You
I
know, so
know.
I think that's the biggest one he's rolled yet.
But
Really?
Janae was 4 papers.
You keep
Really?
saying,
That shit, I
you
don't
keep
know.
saying you guys are trying to be good parents. Right?
Okay, in
You're-
my upbringing, conditioning, programmed perspectives.
Yeah, but I mean, so now like your perspective has shifted and you realize that just because
Oh,
you smoke
yeah.
cannabis doesn't
Oh,
mean
no,
you're not a
absolutely.
good parent.
Sorry. Oh my God. Yes, I'm so sorry. Let me.
No,
fix
I'm
that.
just I'm
Because
wondering
that's
if
not
that's
what
a
I meant
remnant
at all.
of.
Yes, now I'm a bad parent. That's what I'm saying. Now
Yeah.
I'm a rebel ass. No, just kidding.
No, because that's a remnant of
Bad-
all of
bad mom.
that. All that propaganda is that fucking
Right.
stigma that comes with it, and like even just you saying that is just leftover, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to be good parents, implying that like
Do it by the book.
yeah, like
yes,
you know,
or like
Rude.
by societal rules kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah, yeah.
And that's where we're trying to like. That's when we're still trying to figure things out of like how do we want to raise our kids?
Mm.
What do we want to do? How so yeah.
So, how's your view on medicating around your children?
Honestly, I think that is a decision for every household. Every household is different dynamics. We are fortunate enough to rent my parents' home, and my parents and I, me being the oldest, I made it a point to like be very open with them. But when they would come to visit us in Washington, and I stopped going to church, and they had to adjust to that. They started adjusting to it there, but because we rent out their house, and they're our landlords, I want to be respectful and like, but they're okay with it because
That's the
they
word
love
respect,
right. They love us, all of their children, however we choose to live. They just love us. So
Killer.
the fact that my parents, who again are my landlords, are okay with it because we both have our cards, and everything, they don't judge. I know they have their opinions, absolutely, because they both still, go to church, and they are still going by the ways that they taught me, right? And I've kind of gone in my own direction. So it is something interesting, but we're the only ones in the house. My parents don't live with us, so we don't have anyone older that I would like not want to smoke around. But with my kids, I don't mind. I just go outside into my garage, or I stay in my room, and then after I'll just like open my window, kind of thing. But they know and they understand. But a lot of the times, when we're outside, my husband and his boys, they'll mix, they'll fight kava. So my son will come out. He's one of the boys, on our side, it's very, the community is very strong, like the brotherhood, the sisterhood,
And
all
like
of
that's
that.
cultural too.
Right.
how old is your
My son.
oldest? Or
Oh,
your
my
son?
oldest.
See you later.
Or I don't know what. How many? You got 3?
I have 3, yes. My oldest will be 13 in May.
Yeah.
I'll have a teenager. Yo, we're not ready.
I don't think anyone is.
No. 13, 11, and 5.
Okay. But so they're around that age where they're culturally aware of cannabis through pop culture and TV and shit.
Yes.
Music they hear, so they know like what's up. So, like, what was your approach on like use of that
Ooh.
at that age?
This is
Because
interesting.
obviously you didn't use at that age, but I know there's a
No.
lot of people who started super young.
Right.
2 of them are sitting at this
Well,
table.
Well, we'll just say we'll go back to Washington because they were a little younger then, and the conversation I had to have with my girls, who mommy was taking them to church every Sunday, and now mommy is deciding to drink or smoke or whatever. It was kind of shocking for them, and we did have to talk about it. At first, I wanted to hide it, and my husband was like, "Why are you gonna hide it?" And that was like me like fearing the conversation, like. And
Husband coming in clutch.
right, yeah. No, I'm so grateful for my husband because he grew up so open to things. He grew up being raised by a single mom, so he had to learn shit the hard way. He learned life.
Street education.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was like, "No, we're gonna talk to them about it." So I was like, "Okay." So we had to have that hard conversation, and me and my girls cried. Like we're all like emotional and like we're super close. So. We really did, but I was like, no, like we just had to have a conversation about it. That's all it is. And I think that's all that there needs to be is just more conversations about it. Again, to each their own. Every family dynamic is different, but with us, we really wanted to take how sheltered and conservatively I was raised and how open he was raised, and kind of just like meet in the middle, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Respectfully open. You know?
I think it's worse if you hide it.
Right.
Fuck
You're
It
gonna be
yeah.
like, "Whoa,
always
what is
is.
what is
It
mom doing
always
in there all the
is.
time? Why do always
Daddy
Always
always smell like
is.
pine cones.
No,
What are you
and
more
now
curious, you
I am
know?
so against hiding, like really anything. Like just keep it age appropriate. Keep it to where their brains can process it in like a healthy way. You don't traumatize your kids, you know.
Yep.
But like keep it age appropriate. Sorry.
That's totally that's
Say,
good.
what if your kid comes to you at this age, at the ages they are now, and asks like, "Oh, I like try."
Well, that's the thing. I was just gonna share that in our conversation that we had with our girls. We told them that when they were in high school, we'll talk about it. But until then, don't even ask about it, because we are still firm believers in like our bodies and our bodies needing to grow and still develop our brains, especially, right? And I don't know, if you just look at ganja, or if you learn about ganja as a medicine, or like the Rastafarian religion, it's a sacred, it's a sacrament, so it just also teaching them to intentionality is everything. It's okay to be curious, that's perfectly fine, but there's an appropriate time and place. And we had this conversation with them in Washington, because at the time kids were dying from fentanyl, from things being laced with fentanyl, weed included. So I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, we're not going to go through that. So we're like, no, we're going to talk about this. Like, you guys are not, if you guys want anything, you guys are going to wait till you're in high school. Like, we'll start talking about that deeper when you guys reach high school age. But let us know. And we want to keep that door and that bridge open, because we want to be able to get it for them, so it is safe and we know exactly where it's coming from. Because one thing with my husband was, when he was growing up, Mahalo, they would party at the house, and my mother-in-law, again, single mom,
Controlled setting.
right. No, and that's the thing, is she would rather her teenage sons in high school, because my husband isn't the oldest, he's the second one, she would rather them be at home where she could keep them safe than hearing about them driving drunk somewhere because they went to go hide on the side of the road, and it's just so much worse. That's why I said hiding doesn't work.
No.
It just doesn't.
Keep it an open book. Dude, and that brings me up to that fentanyl cases, right? So, like, weed now has fentanyl. We're encountering that shit.
Why?
So, no, okay, wait. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Fuck is the
that,
purpose?
the brokerage, black market, people buying packs, selling packs. Along that line, some fuckery can happen. That's why know your grower. That's why I try to
Exactly.
promote people growing their own medicine, or if not, link up with someone that is responsible when they do grow.
Right.
Is fentanyl like highly addictive or something?
Yes.
I know it's highly deadly.
You're right, because like the tiniest amount can kill you. So like,
right.
I don't understand. Like, just looking at it from an economic standpoint, it doesn't seem like a lucrative business to be lacing your weed
I could
with
tell you
fentanyl,
how it's
because it's
lucrative.
gonna kill your motherfucking things, and you just gotta buy another thing to add to your weed.
No, because you're buying fucking cheap product that won't pass in any lab, any store. You're grabbing it dirt fucking cheap. You're spending a little bit of money investing into something that's going to turn it dirt cheap to blowing people's socks off.
Yeah, but it still doesn't make sense, because we all know
You're killing
that
your customers.
the tiniest
Depends
amount of
if you-
fentanyl can kill you.
Yes.
So what are they doing? Dispersing that much on a
Probably.
pound of weed?
I don't
That's
know.
retarded. I mean,
Questions for
flame
the
retardant.
audience.
like, I don't get it. I just I don't understand.
I
Like,
would imagine it has something to do with like elevating that high, but you would have to know your dosage. Like, you would need to be like an alchemist, like a chemist in the lab.
and most
kinda
of these guys
thing.
aren't, so they're
So
putting
how
too
would
much,
they-
right? And that's
But
where the problems happen,
that's the problem.
right? Is they're not. But there's no
Like
right
a
amount of
mixed
fentanyl.
batch.
Just leave it out. Right? It's like, fuck, just leave that shit out.
Right.
It
Just
could be,
see,
it could be
and let's talk
contamination.
about that. Let's leave that shit out.
I
I
guess.
can't. My body. So, I have a pacemaker. My body. My body cannot even handle really dabbing or like the oils too much. It's very interesting because I've tried it and I like it, but I can't get used to it because I can't do it enough to get used to it. Because then, my body just doesn't react the same. She likes the
Is it-
flower.
Is it too? You think it's just like too much at once? It's like it's like a dosage thing, like the concentrate. I mean,
Yeah, I
of
don't
it.
know. My body's just very sensitive
Mhm.
to different things. So, she likes the flower.
Mhm.
For sure, for sure. Like I've never had any problems with that. But it's like with coffee and energy drinks.
Mhm.
I can have like energy drinks here and there, but like coffee I can have daily.
Mhm.
Energy drinks will like start fucking with my pacemaker and like make like I'll feel
it's
like my
Constant
heart
elevated heart rate. Now.
right, and so that's the same kind of feeling I get with the doing dabs or like when the ganja is changed in form, if that
Mhm, mhm.
makes sense.
How do edibles affect you?
Okay, so
There's a joint over there.
edibles.
There's a joint over there for you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, thank you. Mahalo. Edibles, honestly, I freaking love edibles.
Right. Is
And-
it because you can more control the dosage?
No. Oh, sorry. I didn't like edibles at all at first. I've grown to love her. And I've just learned to love that high throughout my body and
Mhm.
just learning to function with that high because I like to smoke throughout the day, but handle my shit. So it's like I just smoke enough to where I'm functioning.
Mhm.
How do you think cannabis has made you like a better parent, or what are the benefits as a parent?
To be completely honest, especially for our islanders, our Polynesian people, our cannaconversations, we're all dealing with colonial trauma, whether we realize it or not. And ganja has literally helped to not only shift my perspective on things, but has given me elevated perspective in ways to find better solution for things or ways to find practice peace or peaceful solutions versus not using ganja, if that makes sense. I don't know. Marijuana is one of the few, or cannabis is one of the few substances, right, that works with our bodies.
It's like made for us.
That part. So,
Well, I mean, we've said it before. It's like humans have evolved alongside cannabis specifically, so much so that we have cannabinoid receptors in our brain made for the specific cannabinoids found in cannabis. Go figure. So there's got to be something to that, right? And going back to like dosages, right? Like you can like with edibles, you can kind of like pace yourself, which is very nice.
yes, yes.
With dabs, you can get too much too quick. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know,
Yes.
overdo it. I mean, I think most
Definitely.
of us have had the experience of too big of a dab or whatever.
Too many
Green
bong
fever.
rips or
Yeah, we're like,
yeah.
it's too much. And I think those stories are important to share as well.
The green fever stories.
Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but I don't know. I'm super stoned already.
Well, but like you said,
Buckle up,
dosage.
motherfucker.
Oh, I'm ready. But like you said, dosage, that's really the biggest thing. And I feel like the shame and blame and the negative remarks that come with it are like such childish childhood and like high school representation of marijuana. You know, everyone just thinks like, oh, people who smoke are just lazy all day. They just, sleep in bed all day, don't do anything with their life.
Well, also too, it's
Shit, I'm not gonna lie. Smoking weed and doing that sounds fucking amazing.
No, absolutely, always.
no, but it's more than just like dosing, right? So it's like knowing your limits, but also knowing your strains,
Yes.
knowing what you're putting into your body, knowing the ratio you're getting,
Yes.
the terpene profile you're getting. So all of that analytics. I mean, you're not just gonna go and take a pill and be like, oh yeah, let's make you feel better. Oh, okay. What am I taking? You really got to know, and medicine goes further. It goes deep beyond just picking up some weed and smoking it. You know, I hope people get more educated in that aspect. Where, all right, I'm getting weed off somebody. What do I look for to make sure it's clean? You know, visual
Or just
inspection.
anything you put into your body.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, I'm no
yes.
expert in anything, but I think I know a little bit about weed. So like, whatever I could share to help that.
Yes.
I mean, teach me about fucking tomatoes. You know what I mean? Like, what to
So
look
I
for.
love tomatoes.
He's so bless you. He's so humble. This guy. They call him the grow guru. He's like, I'm not an expert.
I ain't no fucking. I'm learning
Cute,
like
bro.
everybody.
It's cute.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
No, but
Fucking dick.
Please share some gems, Mr. Grow.
the guru. Yeah, some pearls, sir.
Some pearls.
Pearls.
You want some fucking pearls?
You put one right in the middle of that
I'll
joint.
give you
Looks
one around your neck.
like-
Huh?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I feel attacked. HR.
Yeah.
HR, where are you?
Shout out to Mills. Keeping us sponsored. So pearls, so gems. Know your strains. If you want some growing gems, here's this growing gems. Know your strains, because they all grow differently. So, there you go.
Think of them as goddesses. Or just as women. As wahine. We're all different. Different personalities.
Choke personalities, man. We
Why-
love them,
Why
though.
gotta be choked, though?
I mean, some are sensitive, some are hardy, some will fucking stomp you out, and some will make you feel enlightened. So, the characteristics vary
You're right.
in cannabis. And treating them right, knowing what they want,
Yes.
you know, while you're raising them, because they'll throw different attitudes at you. So I'm like, hey, I don't like that. Learn from them. The second time around, you
Right.
may have fucked up. Life's not over if you fuck up. Come around to the same strain, do it a little differently, you know? Over time, they'll like you, and you'll learn more about it. And to me, that's what a grower should be doing. And as a consumer, you should look for a grower that does that, you know, because they'll always get better. And the more you invest your time and attention to those guys, the better they'll get, and the better your medicine will get, and they'll appreciate you for sticking by them.
That part.
Have you ever tried to grow your own?
I have not.
You should.
I should.
Definitely should.
I definitely should.
It's something that people blow out of proportion. I think
Well,
anybody can get it.
okay. I guess for me, because I like to try to do things like very intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just still learning for me.
I hate to be this guy, but women make the best growers.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
statistically
can see
speaking, on
that.
like what I see
would
in my
do
clients,
affirmations to it.
Talk to
I
your
would
clients,
make
playing
sure.
music.
Absolutely, I would sing to them.
I think it goes beyond that. I think
I
it's like more
would.
your
Our
maternal instinct
energy.
to where like you can notice the intricacies that's wrong, and take that what's wrong with the plant or whatever, something happened that's adverse, you take it to heart like, oh fuck, that thing's life is now, and I didn't nurture that plant, so my motherly instinct is now in check. So now you guys are more intense as far as figuring the fuck out what happened in that situation and applying it to the future. And like, dude, from all the people I consulted, the women fucking crush it like crazy.
Women's intuition. That's why.
The guys, they got it. They know the they know how to do it and
The
scaling
physical
up
sense. The physical sense.
and making it economic. But it's more the women who nurture the plant in its full potential. Yeah.
Right.
So like women as consumers should know genetics just as well. They should know what's going on, because if you want to dive into a wormhole of nurturing and maternal instinct, knowing the genetics and where they go will make you further in tune with your medicine. If you're the farmer and you're a woman, get to know your genetics and then work with the genetics that's provided or that you're seeking. And that way you know how to treat her right off the bat. Less stress, less maternal instinct being checked, more execution as far as knocking it out of the park. You know what I mean?
I would love to learn. Do you do classes or do you sell like courses?
Yep, we do classes. Yep, just
Perfect.
come on down. Like, just
Okay.
come cruise and we'll just talk story about growing and we'll get you
Bet.
guys set up.
I would love to learn.
They don't call him the grow guru for nothing.
Jeez. This fucking guy over here.
Right.
In the vein of,
I
like you were
love
saying, like
it.
setting
In the
intention
vein.
and affirmations to your plants and stuff.
Right.
Have either of you seen that thing that they attach to plants and the plants sing and it converts their
Yeah, the bullshit.
fields?
Oh,
Fuck, I'm not talking to you. That
like their vibrations into sound?
motherfucker. You
Nah,
just
I don't know.
Can't even like
I just
just
checked it.
not even
Into
yes.
sound?
Yeah, it's like
Or,
they put these little diodes on a plant, and they have a speaker connected to it, and they tune the frequencies, and it's supposed to be like what the plant is emitting. It's not like it's communicating, dick face. It's just
But
like
yeah,
converting the plant's electromagnetic field and wavelength into what sound is, so it has this unique sound. No?
Yes,
Anybody?
no, I've heard of that because
You-
didn't they say that they recorded what it sounds like when a plant gets cut
Oh, and it sounds like
and
it's
it
screaming.
screams? Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't listen or I didn't see a recording or
But-
whatever, but I did see that.
Okay.
Okay, you
Well,
know.
let me enlighten
I
you
believe
guys.
it though. I believe it.
Let me
'cause
tell you- let
energy
me-
is everything.
I want don't just stop my flow, bro. But anyway, so they have these things you can put on plants with speaker. It will sing. People watching might know. People who watch this might know. And then they've done it with mushrooms. Like they've done it on mushrooms growing off shit in the forest, and the sound is different. Like these
I bet.
different species of plants create different sounds. So I'm curious
And environment. I
if
would
you were to
assume.
record it, like say you had a happy, healthy plant, and you were to record the sound it's making, because in theory, this is the sound a happy plant makes. You were to record it and play it back to the plant as an affirmation. Do you think that could have an effect? But obviously, none of you are qualified to answer these questions because you don't even know what I'm talking
I am
about.
so interested to find out now. I'm
Plant
gonna
wave.
figure
I'm gonna
that
look it up.
out.
Plant wave.
Well,
Look up plant
but
wave.
your question though, because that's like speaking their language, or that's like doing mirror work to them.
Right? Wouldn't it have some effect? Because even like water, right? The Japanese
Oh,
guy
I
with
speak
the
to my water all the time.
You like leave.
I spoke to the water before I gave you the bong, bro. I
But right-
speak to my water all the
It
time.
was very purified.
No, and that's the thing, right? Like the guy did that experiment and like different affirmations to the different water. It
Or
froze in
just
different ways.
language. The power, and the point of that is the power of words.
This fucking guy's over here mocking us. Fuck you.
I'm not mocking
and,
you guys.
And all these guys in the comments. Drew's down.
Drew, okay, this is what Drew fucking said.
What? Oh man.
You should swear at the water, and they're recording the micro farts of the capillaries.
Of all the bacteria that's in the water.
No, the plant.
Oh,
That's what he was saying.
I don't know what that means.
No,
Anyway.
no, definitely not a mockery. But what I question is like, what are they measuring? That's creating
Frequency.
that? Frequency of
Oh, dude. Bro science only can
Of,
get you so far, and I'm
water.
a fucking
They put
bro
water
scientist.
drops under a microscope,
okay.
and they tested the glasses. So
Hmm?
the scientists the test was having glasses that were spoken positively to, right, and then negatively to, and then they took water samples from both the positive and the negative, and the ones that were spoken nice to had like nice patterns or like snowflakes and nice shapes, and the ones that were not had not necessarily nice shapes and nice
Random and scattered the way
right.
the ice froze.
It did
Okay,
have
is
an
this
effect
ice?
on it. No,
Well, from water to ice.
Right, to get the
Okay.
sample.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
I want
But
to see
if you
that.
believe that there's some sort of power outside of us that, is the thing, like that could be an effect of why your positive or negative intentions and words and vibrations out of your mouth could have an effect on.
Because words
Water.
are powerful.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we
You
make
don't
each
believe.
other
You don't
cry.
believe.
Or we
I
make
don't
each
know,
other
man.
laugh.
If you can test it and like, 'cause,
heard
I mean,
like-
I was watching some MythBusters where like the guy was fucking like literally talking shit to a plant,
Yeah.
and then they try to measure like the plant's physiological changes, right? Yeah. And there was no changes versus them being physically. Well, there was changes with them physically in front of the plant, but they played fucking like negative shit in a room onto the plant, and nothing changed. So they were trying to attribute that the plant's physiological changes was from the CO2 that you were saying and talking.
But didn't in their experiment they play it over a speaker?
Yes, but they're saying that that's the control, right? The control is the bad words. That's a thing that's the bad energy. So if I'm like, fuck you, ficus.
How about
fuck
this
you.
though? How about this? A recording of your voice saying it might not necessarily convey and carry the same energy as if you
No,
walking in and actually being mad at it.
They were talking over the microphone.
No, they weren't. I thought on Mythbusters. I thought on the Mythbusters when they pre-recorded it because they had it playing like 24/7. You telling me they're standing there for hours saying it over and over?
I mean, it's not measured
I
on
might be
hours,
wrong, too, though.
right? I'll look it up, dude. But that's
it
Yeah,
could
Anu.
all be connected. There,
Go
it
back.
could be affected.
Yeah, it might be.
not.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
I
worth,
love
it's
it.
I like how
worth
you hate
testing.
this shit though. This motherfucker's like, ugh.
I gotta be the opposing.
He's
Coming
like,
up.
I guess I'll talk about it.
When you walk into your garden, do you not just talk to your plants?
Hey,
Yes or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then
I just like look at them like,
Non-believer.
oh, they look good, and then I just do.
so you're giving them positive affirmations.
Well, they're giving me positive affirmations from the
But
response.
you say it out loud. Do you
Yeah.
verbally say like, "Oh, they're looking good"?
No,
It's just aloha vibes on rotation.
I just walk up like, whoa, shit, they look good, and then handle it, dude.
Vibes are real, boo, 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 boo.
It is real. I get vibes, like, vibes from another human being, and like you can tell facial recognition and how they act, body language, tone of voice. That's the shit that I can see as a human to human contact. I can read and act accordingly. But like if it's cross species, like my dog that fucking wag its tail when I say, "What's up, boy?" I know that vibe I put out, fucking, he responds to it, and I can respond back. With plants, I would think that my positive vibe would go into the attention I would put into my plants that would give them the positive result. So, like, if I didn't water my plants, I'm like, oh, good job, guys. They would still die.
No, absolutely.
Right.
Okay, I see the point you're trying to make now. The affirmation of the word itself.
It's not gonna sustain it
That-
by
okay,
itself.
okay. Look at it like this. It's like half energy. It's like half-ass energy. So like with anything, right? You need like affirmations can help, but the action is what actually will help it to manifest or make it manifest.
So the
right?
affirmation is the manifestation of the action.
No. The affirmation, look at it as like a partner to the action
Okay.
to manifest the happy plant or the sad plant, if
Right.
that makes sense.
No, that's totally fine. And that is measurable. That is testing. Like you can test that. You can measure that. Yes, that is positive to the plant.
The water one was cool,
But
though.
me, if I'm like, fuck these fucking plants, and I go in and take care of them the same.
Right. That's like contradicting the action. So the action is still they're still going to grow. Like you said, they're still going to grow. But I feel like if you were to test two plants, talk nicely to the other one and still took care of them good, and then talk crap to the one and took care of them good.
I think this
don't
is
know.
worth a test.
But I feel like you cannot just go in there and be like, "You dumb fucking plants, you're fucking stupid."
No, you have
like,
to feel
really
that.
mean
Yeah,
it.
but if you
on-
fucking hate the plant, you're gonna
You have to
mistreat it.
really fucking
Right, no, you
mean it.
have
From the
to. Or like
belly.
if you feel like
Fuck
any
you.
anger or any of those emotions, go into that room where those
Then,
plants are and just like, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like fight if you want to fight, with your wife, because it happens, whatever. Like just have all that negative energy in that room with that
Slap me
plant.
real quick before
No,
I
I
go into this
mean,
room.
No,
It's-
that baby,
it's-
that might be worth a shot.
It's a test or an experiment that could.
Okay, I'm down to go.
You know what pisses
If you're
you
willing
off?
to take care of it, really like, and that's the only difference is that's the room where all the arguments happen. That's the room where all like the affirmations or the positive speaking happens.
Okay.
You have to intentionally do both though.
But you gotta really mean it.
No, but that's why I said so. Don't force it. So like if you're gonna have an argument or if you're heated, go into that room, say whatever the hell you want to say, get that shit off
It's
your
my
chest.
vent plant.
Yeah, basically, that's who you go talk to when you have all the bad news. Then you go to the other one, tell it
Yes.
all your good news for the
Walking
day.
out, hey, bro, I'm sorry.
There
If
you
I
go.
had a room like
there
that-
you go.
Leaves.
Then you can do it daily.
If I had a
All
room
the-
like that, I would never leave.
Yeah.
Just pissed off all the time.
You're,
Fuck,
you're
fuck,
so
fuckity fuck.
fucking green. Fuck you.
Are you gonna light that soon?
Yes, I'm
I
like.
think we
right
should I'm gonna use the bathroom. Does anybody want to take a bathroom break, or should you just keep going while I step out? Since you left earlier.
Keep going.
now. You going? Okay. So yeah, vibes. I mean, I get the affirmation and like manifesting the positive reaction. I get that 100%. And there was a product we used. It was a bioharmonic tonic, and it was a fertilizer that was ran over crystals before it was bottled. It was actually funded by Olivia Newton-John.
I love it.
I
I
had
can
it.
already start to understand it. Okay,
It was good, but depends on what they ran it over, because it does. Some crystals have charges.
Different
that
crystals
kill
have different
microbials, right?
energies.
Could be. No, not enough to say.
I believe that.
Okay.
Aloha.
So that's one thing I was kind of like about, but at the same time, like, it was a good fucking product. It worked.
Right.
Like, it flew off our shelves, and it was fucking awesome. So, meh. Okay. Here we go. Are we waiting for Eric? You think we should wait for Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know you're talking about it, Mike, and I was like, "Fuck." Okay. Let's get Mike. We don't have any questions. Just people clowning. It's all good.
I don't think we had a fatty with a worm on it yet, though.
No, you had to worm in the fatty.
That outside.
Bruh, I had this guy just ask me, "Is your dad Sean Inoka?" I was like, "No. Who the fuck is that?"
Yes,
Yeah.
he is.
Sean Inoka. Shout out to Sean Inoka, man. Making handsome motherfuckers.
I love it.
So I have to hold this like a dickhead because it'll fall over on the fucking worm. We all don't want a squished worm. So when you're, when you first got into the smoking, got back into the smoking, right, and had your children out in front, was there any panic that set in when you're dealing with your kids for the first time being high?
No, honestly.
Nice.
Because, excuse me, by this time, I was already trying to microdose, or I was smoking intentionally after work or right before I went to sleep, because I worked the grave shift at the casino. So me and my husband would literally pass each other in the morning when I'm leaving to go back to the kids, and he's going to work down in Seattle because he was a superintendent for a construction company down in Seatown. So, we do what we had to do. I worked the nights, he worked the days,
That's the grind, the parent grind
absolutely.
right there. That's tough.
Yeah, we loved it though. But no, so by this time, that's what I'm saying, I was already intentionally trying to be as responsible as possible, and just everything, because we had so much to do and make sure that we were on top of already, with our schedules being so night and day, and with the kids and homeschooling and everything. So
it's another tradition on this podcast is a 3-paper joint.
I did not know that.
It's kind of intense.
The last.
It's usually the last ones. After this, we'll wrap it up, or halfway through, we'll wrap it up. Or maybe now. No.
I feel like we didn't have one like this fat in a while, though.
I don't know.
I love it.
My farm got robbed. Sorry.
That.
Hate to put that out there.
They're on fire
Huh?
like that
Fuck
with
those
Joe.
guys.
What?
My farm got robbed.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm so
yeah.
sorry.
It's okay. I guess they needed it more than I did.
Not again, right?
No. Fuck
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, they said it was some chronic guys, huh?
Bastards. That sucks. What is this gonna do? Just drip on my fingers.
Try to hold it facing up. That way it drips down.
On my fingers? When I drip down towards the hot part, so it fucking.
Yeah, so hold it straight. Just
On your
have that
beard.
shit fucking dripping down.
You're following your beard.
I know. Do you have like
it
a
mats
beard net?
together. Put some alcohol on your beard, buddy.
Well, the good thing is we got a ways to go before it even gets there.
We gotta cut it all
But
off.
still, though, that's fucking.
We gotta cut it all off.
So don't ash it like this. Just push it in.
I was gonna just turn it upside down and tap, tap, tap.
Yep.
Flip it back
try
over.
to push it. Like, if anything, just trying to pack it.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
us about being a mom and ganja.
Who am I passing this to? Sorry.
I guess he's the closest.
The guy in the back there.
Oh.
There you go. I try to keep it extra firm. It's a joint when I rolled it.
Okay.
That was nice. Thank you so
a fat
much.
one.
What else about moms and ganja? What else you want to know, or what else you want to talk about?
No, I mean, it's like smoking on the first time, you know, how did that make you feel? What did the stigma line up with you? Was it true, or was it like, nah, this is fucking bullshit, you know, I can integrate this in my life? And
Absolutely.
did it hold you back in any sense of the word, to where like, oh man, I'm not capable of doing this task today, or because you were high, or you know what I mean? Was there any of that going on while you were actively consuming as a parent?
No, but I would say like on days where like my depression would hit, or just days where, because as moms we go through so many changes as well. Postpartum, I didn't have postpartum, but I actually had depression with my son, my last pregnancy. So I felt like I got a glimpse of what it was like, thank goodness, because it was so interesting. Literally, as I was pushing him out, like I felt the shift of myself go back to normal. And it was so interesting. I don't know how else to explain it, but other than that, and after that, I was fine. So, but the pregnancy, oh my goodness, it was like this. It was crazy because I'd never experienced anything like it. And I had never experienced postpartum.
Do you think ganja would have helped during your pregnancy with those?
Oh my gosh,
shifts?
yes. Yeah? Yes, but like I said, during all my pregnancies and at that time, it wasn't even a thought yet. So divine timing, though, I'm grateful that when it came back around, I actually tried it with intention, with an open mind. Because honestly, now I cannot imagine my life without her. And it's not in like a junkie, like addicted sense. It's so much deeper than that. And again, this is all with the stigma we're trying to break, the barriers we're trying to break about it. But it's one of those things where if you know, you know. You know, if you know, you know. Because other than that, you're still going to believe what we were all programmed to believe.
Right.
So.
And
that's
case
fine.
scenarios, like when people had never smoked before and they finally do, they got that aha moment, like, fuck, dude, this is what it
I've been
is. Like, oh my
missing.
gosh. And you know,
It
like
truly is an enlightenment.
100%. And you know, you just try not to refer to it as a junkie sense. And then people would say that, like, hey, you needing it makes you addicted. I would agree with them. Yes, it does make you addicted. But you're addicted to the most safest thing ever. You know, it's been proven, it's been used for thousands of years. It's a holistic medicine. Mankind has an endocannabinoid system. I mean, almost every living creature, I believe, has. So I think you talk about a sacred plant. This is as sacred as it gets if it's part of us, you know? So we can enjoy this on a deeper level. And I think it was meant for us to medicate freely. And anybody who says that otherwise is fucking foolish. Puts any limit to this plant, or even any stigma saying that you are classified as a junkie. Like,
is that what you tell your offspring?
What you mean?
Like that sentiment, is that when you talk about cannabis with your
My
kids?
Well, I think.
Kid?
Sorry. No, sorry. This thought came to mind. I think where that comes from is that psychoactive part in it, right? And then that's where, like you said, knowing your growers, knowing what's in it, knowing the percentage, that is what's important. And that's what needs to be talked about more. Because, yes, certain strains can be altered by certain farmers who do it with the intention, let's say, of just money, you know, whatever it is, just know where your source is coming from. Mahalo.
So, like, with my kid, her growing up, she's always been around it, right? Always been a medical patient. Always tried to do the legal thing because I didn't want outside entities taking my daughter away. I was always afraid of that as a parent, because I know in the state's eyes, the stigma falls fucking hard. So,
When you're in a different position too, because you're not just a cannabis user, right? Your involvement with the plant goes a little deeper than that. So there's more.
more eggshells I got to walk on.
Yeah. But I mean, like for, people like us who are parents and are just,
Well, my
patients,
kid,
medical patients.
yeah. So
You're
my daughter
kind of
has
a
been
unique
brought
case.
up around cannabis. Like she knows cannabis. She knows, and she's seen the benefits cannabis has done not only to me but clients of mine that come. They wholeheartedly believe in the plant, and some of the clients I get just want to dabble. And then she sees them, and the next thing you know, they have a full-blown sustainable garden in their backyard, which is fucking exactly what we're trying to do, right? So she sees that. She sees the positivity that happens. I don't really need to dive into details with her because it's case study.
And she's young. You don't have to dive in. You can get more detailed as they get older.
Well, I'm not talking about gruesome details. I'm just talking about, like, factual details that she can comprehend, you know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
But I don't even leave it to that. I don't even have to. But she sees everything. Like, she knows dad's a responsible fucking dude. So I don't have to explain to her how this is making me lazy, because she doesn't see me fucking lazy. I
That
try
part.
to bust my ass every
That
single
part.
time. So I don't give her
That
the
part.
opportunity to stigmatize the plant around me. I don't make an excuse for it. Like, I just want to chill. Like, yeah, I do want to chill, but how does that make it look to her? You know what I mean? When I know shit needs to get done and I'm just sitting on my ass not doing anything about it.
Right.
I was just thinking my kids think I'm lazy, but there's no correlation with cannabis and laziness. It's just,
I was just
Dad's a
gonna
lazy
say
motherfucker.
That's a poor, yes.
Dad's just lazy.
No, but that's just a poor comparison. Like to just associate.
It's associated
Yeah,
big time as
just
lazy
like,
fucking
boom.
stoners.
It's just
you
like
know?
one. It's like tied into one. That's what I was saying. Not that you're lazy. Sorry.
No, I was making a joke. I'm not lazy.
But I was like, no, yes, that's
But I
what
am
it
lazy.
is. It's not that's not fair to have it both associated as one.
True.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But it follows, it follows. You can't help that. But, like, you got to model by positive
I was just
example.
gonna say, but walk your talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's understanding your limits and just your doses and handling your shit. I like to microdose. I like to wake and bake with my coffee. I like to, there's just.
That's kind of like, tell me you're 30 without telling me you're 30. And, like, I just posted a joint in the coffee. I was like, dude, this is like every 30-year-old's dream right here. It's like, drink coffee and smoke a fucking joint, right?
An
Hell yeah.
edible and coffee. Yes.
That's the shit.
I'm sort of
A donut.
conflicted right now, anyway, while I'm sitting here thinking about this, because like my approach with my kids is that it's medicine. You know what I mean? And that's a reason why, like, when they're being dumb, and like, I tried that. It's like, no, it's like you wouldn't take Tylenol if you didn't have a headache,
Exactly.
right? But then they're gonna see this and be like, Dad was like taking 80 Tylenols, in metaphorically speaking. Like,
No.
was that necessary? Was your headache that bad, Dad?
No,
No.
because
You know
what I mean?
doesn't
Like-
it doesn't remove pain. It helps you deal with
No,
it.
but that's a metaphor.
Okay.
That's a metaphor, right? Like, because it's medicine and it helps, right?
Right.
Like, we're getting back to the dosage. Like, if you apply that to cannabis, like, is there a point where it's abuse of the medicine?
Okay, I guess this is where
That might fucking
everyone's
beg to differ.
intention with it is different, right? Everyone's intention.
Choke medicine.
If it's a state like this where there's a medical card needed, everyone's medical reason is different. So there's that. I don't know. For me, besides the medicine part, I do feel like how we talked about, it is a gateway drug, but not in the way that we were programmed to think or conditioned to think, more so for like enlightenment. So I will intentionally do like have smoke sessions
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
meditate
Gateway
on
to
something.
junk food.
Oh, that's a
or-
new way. Maybe that's a good way to
See, I don't
explain
even
it.
get munchies really. It's just like if I'm like seeking higher wisdom or whatever, I will smoke because I feel like on cloud 9, I'm connected to my goddess self, and that's where I get things that I don't think I necessarily would have thought of or, would have felt come through
Like you're tapped into
other
something
than
else.
being on cloud nine. So that's why with like my Instagram, Ganja Goddess, it's not just saying like, I mean, yes, we are, if we believe that we're all connected to source, we are technically all gods and goddesses. But it's higher than just a title.
I'm going to take the approach now where like it's medicine, but it's medicine for your head and mind. And at their age,
That part,
your
your
brain
mind.
is still growing as a
That
kid. You got to have
part,
the kid mind first.
yes.
Like you're not ready for the key that this unlocks.
No.
You got to be like
That's why we had that
mentally
conversation
prepared.
with my kids. Like high school is the minimum we'll even talk about this,
Yeah.
you know? But, and in that time, I'm like studying different things in psychology. I'm like studying the plant because I'm trying to learn how to make plant medicine, taking herbalist certification class, you know, just trying to learn. Yes, but I do need to connect and do our actual cultural. Yes.
Yeah, I just communicate with my daughter like it's medicine. She knows, you know, what it helps. I have a back injury. She knows it helps me. But I tell her it doesn't take away the pain.
No,
It just helps me deal with the pain. So it also is like, do you have anything wrong with you? No, I don't. Word. You don't need to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Relax.
You have nothing wrong with you yet. Yeah.
Yeah, relax.
I said you will.
But
I'll make sure of it.
I also
and then you can
acknowledge
smoke.
to her that like emotional is something that it's used for. So not only mental,
Okay,
emotional.
there
So
we
like
go.
if
So
you're feeling depressed,
physical,
right?
Emotional.
So you can use it when you're feeling
Spiritual.
depressed or if you're feeling uninspired. You know, that's also something that I would be open to her using.
Microdosing.
Yeah.
Tiny
So
ass
if
joints.
she's like, hey, you know, I'm feeling in a slump, Dad. I don't feel creative. I don't feel inspired to do anything. Try this.
Do you think like microdosing
Absolutely.
at a level where it's like 1 milligram edible or something like a gummy or something? That's 1
Can
milligram.
we dial it back old school and just call it like a rip?
What do you mean?
Like microdosing to me, like I'm heavy into it being referred to as mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like for me, it's like
sorry.
no, you're fine. It's right. It's kinda,
Sorry,
I'm
I
stuck in the old
meant
school ways. Like,
in
oh yeah, I was
the
taking
ganja.
a rip, bruh. You know
No,
what I
but
mean?
like say like yeah. Well, you're doing
Fuck.
you're taking it easy. You're slow rolling your cannabis use for the day.
Right.
But like you take like a 1
Sometimes-
milligram edible and like you're not getting fucked up. You probably won't even really feel it, but at least some THC is getting in your system and you're having some sort of medical benefits.
Elevation.
Or
Yes.
I mean, or you could do that.
Or you can do this, but at the same time, like I think as an adolescent, they have so much growth and learning to do, and we all know you forget shit when you get super high. So it's not. I don't think it's ideal for a growing mind to be jumping on unless there's something very, very. They have an ailment that needs to be addressed. Like
Or if they're like super duper creative and
Mhm.
it just helps, you know, they're able to just like
Yeah.
get flooded with inspiration.
if they can juggle it too, because
Here's
you
the-
Yeah.
don't want diminishing return with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm gonna fucking let my kid burn up, and then like yeah, he's a good ukulele player, but as fuck, I don't know basic math. You know, like he
I
didn't pay
have a
attention to math.
question.
Yes.
So say you're high school, you know, junior aged,
Sorry, buddy.
senior aged child has an ailment and they can be prescribed cannabis. Are you cool with them smoking fat
Hell
ass
yes.
joints like that, or are you cool with them
Fuck
like
yeah.
taking a
Pills.
prescribed dose? Not pills, but like you know what I mean. Like they
Nah.
they get cannabis, like, but you know,
Oh,
you know.
oh.
If smoke them, if you got them,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, keep it organic.
But here's the
And-
thing. Yeah, okay.
smoke them if you got them, bro.
I mean, that seems.
But-
if I'm being
If my kids
completely
get their
honest,
own medicine,
if I'm
bro,
being
Instead of
completely honest and
pills.
looking
Whatever.
honestly at myself, sometimes it feels a little excessive. The
I
amount
think
of weed that
any
people
of us
smoke.
Can,
the
absolutely.
back
but that's-
pedal of the
but
year
that
goes
is
to Eric.
to
Why not
each their
backpedaling? I'm being
own,
honest
right?
about our
Us-
usage.
that comes to us mastering ourselves, though, and then that goes back to intention. So it really is to each their own.
No, yeah, for sure. But that's why I guess where I originally said was like, I personally struggle with it because I look at it as a medicine, and then I'm on here taking a bottle full of fucking Tylenol, metaphorically speaking.
should never
as
be-
opposed to what I normally do on a daily basis is
should
just
never be
hit a dab
metaphorically
pen.
spoken of like that.
A small little dab pen. I just hit it every once in a while throughout the day, and basically taking rips throughout the day, microdosing in that sense, and kind of staying at a constant manageable level through the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come here on Thursdays and get fucking
The tolerance just goes back up.
yeah. It's
Dude, I
like,
don't
holy shit.
smoke this much during the week too.
I don't smoke.
Okay,
I don't smoke
see?
flower at all during.
Oh wow.
Ugh.
See,
Dude, that was just like saying that like what is the South Park when Mr. Mackey was
You're probably gonna say
he was-
something offensive if you're
he
gonna
was
quote
glu-
South Park.
he was
Be
gluten
careful.
free. He was telling everybody, "Yeah, I'm gluten free."
okay.
Yeah, I dab. I don't smoke any fucking flour.
One of the reasons, I have reasons behind it. One of the reasons is for convenience because neighbors smell. I have a card. You know, it's fine, but still, I'm trying to be respectful.
You take bong rips, you're totally fine.
I don't like bong rips. I mean, I'm not like, I don't know. I'm
What
not
about
trying to.
vape, box
Do you
vaping.
want a bong rip? I can put more ice in.
I had one earlier. That's fine. That's like cool enough. And like, I'm not
Okay.
trying to like, it hurts my throat, honestly.
Oh, sorry. Even with the ice, sorry. That's
I have
why.
this little dab pen. I just load a little bit of fucking wax in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and this is like my speed. This is perfect for what like I
See,
need.
honestly, it's just me trying to listen and respect my body. If my body like loved it the way it loves the ganja,
Mhm.
like no problems whatsoever, because of my pacemaker, then I would probably be a dabber as
Mhm.
well. Because like you said, convenience or just. But then again, it's like it's also a lot. Like you need to bring out the big ass torch,
Well,
We just went over this.
or
certain
just
things-
like
yeah,
you
yeah,
said
yeah.
with that little pen. You
But
know,
like
it's
for
just,
me, the task of taking out the torch and doing all that stuff, like for people who are like hesitant or don't want to do dabs, I kind of been starting to feel that way about taking out the papers, taking out the
flour,
grinder,
yes.
rolling it up. Like,
right, right.
you know what I
right.
mean?
No,
I don't want
it's
to.
the same effort for
You know what I mean?
sure.
That's
And
when
that's
you put a bunch of joints, then you roll a bunch of joints, and you
That's
just take
true.
that
You
with
could
you.
do that.
Or you just get a fucking bowl and you get a bunch of grounded up weed.
Yeah.
And just bing.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't want to play as long as you're getting your medicine. Fucking, that's what I advocate for.
right, right,
That
right. To each
part.
their own, right?
Well, and now
That's
they
what she's
have
saying.
like joint rollers, electric joint rollers.
Mhm.
That's what I need because I'm not an old school smoker from high school. My husband rolls my joints.
That's fine, man. Shout out to the
So-
husband.
No,
That was
for
3
real
in
though.
this episode. Yeah, buddy.
No, yes, he's dope. So, because he was very much that guy that smoked during high school, maybe slang a little bit, you know. But so he
That
don't
shit's
smoke
cool.
anymore though.
Cool.
That's like how's that shit? Like he don't smoke. He just mixes. He just does kava. So
It's fine.
he does his kava, which is the root, you know, and I do my ganja. So
And kava and ganja make a beautiful combination. bro. Seriously. Oh, I get some fucking killer kava in the freezer, bro. Shout out to Big Al, man. The Fijian kava. Bruh. That's
right
the-
when you said I get some kill, I was like,
The waka.
if you don't say it's Fijian, then I don't believe it's kill.
that fucker, bro. My tongue feels like
Fijian
it's
is
3 times
always
as fat.
fire. Right.
That's Fiji Kava
Fiji kava.
from Dillingham.
No, from Al Maderas.
I wonder if he got him from over there though.
I think he got him from.
Shout out to Al, man. Fuck, that shit was. I held it like. I went through all the other avas, but that one stayed in there. I was like, this fucking thing is bad.
Can you microdose Ava?
Why would you?
Actually, I feel like one time we got Ava pills from like a GNC or someplace as like a supplement, and I took a couple and I
Interesting.
fell asleep. Like it just put me out, bro. I was
Oh,
like, yeah, done. Not fun. No enjoyment. No medicinal
Maybe
purpose.
that was like too fast to hit you then.
Bro,
It was
this
too
is-
concentrated
Could
maybe.
be.
Yeah.
Because I drank one whole gallon one night and I was fucking. Oh, that was good.
I get like the shits.
I was just gonna say the next day must have been Baruto.
vicious. Like
That was during COVID. We were all fucking drinking Hava all
it's
the
like a
time.
colonoscopy, man. For her.
Oh, kava is normal on our side, but even for me, I'm just like, My dad, it's funny. My dad's like, your boy name is Kava Man, but that had to do with DJing. So, I grew up with my dad DJing. He DJ'd for like different radio stations, FM 100, 104.3.
Nice.
Like he'd have his own like segments.
Oh yeah.
Who's your dad? Like, when was he a DJ? You know, maybe you don't want to say.
Whoa.
Well,
This
say-
is when I was little.
I mean, we asked
So
in the
90s,
beginning
the
what we know can
90s.
ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never said. I sorry. So
No, you're good. But yeah,
in the 90s.
yeah.
Tell us off after we power record.
Absolutely. But as far as we know, my dad is the first to put hip hop behind Polynesian music. Like there were people
You
in
might know your dad.
like the islands, Samoa, Tonga, who would come and were like, we heard your stuff, there. And my dad was just like, what the hell? Like he was just doing his thing, and I was so little, but he was heavy into his DJing like all my life, especially my childhood. So,
I'm really curious now.
It's Fiji.
but yeah,
Your dad's
sorry.
Fiji.
Kava man.
But don't guess because you don't want to make it.
Joke.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He was
no,
tell us
no,
after.
no, sorry.
She could tell us after.
No. Oh, that's so funny. No.
That's
My
another
dad's
shot in
Tongan.
the
Remember I
dark.
said my dad is Tongan. My mom's Hawaiian, my
Yeah,
dad's
yeah.
Tongan.
I was like, bro.
Not Fijian. I did open
like,
for
I'm
Fiji though. Talking
Korean.
about Fiji, fun fact: I opened for him because I won brown bags my sophomore year, and so Fiji had a concert at BYU, at the CAC, and this is my sophomore year. So it was me, a girl from Kaimuki, and a girl from a different school who all won like our brown bags that opened for him. It was so cool, and we're all women or girls.
Nice.
The thunder in the
I know, it's
garage
crazy.
is pretty
That's
nuts.
crazy.
It's
I
so
was just
funny.
gonna ask, what is that sound?
Thunder.
That's very interesting.
It's the storm.
It's a storm called Clara. Yeah. So
Oh, did she do that on purpose?
she's
Auntie
an
Clara.
asshole.
Auntie Clara.
Auntie Clara's an asshole.
Hi, Auntie. Sorry, we'll share some of this stuffed panipopo with you after. Shout out to my classmate Naya.
If there's chocolate in the ponipopo, my auntie is gonna croak dead. So don't.
No, there's no chocolate. It's just the kulolo stuffed panipopo.
Okay. Yeah, she's fine.
Yes.
She ain't getting none though. Fuck her. So it's not my auntie. It's,
No, I know. I'm
Okay,
just
all
it's
right,
your
all
neighbor.
right.
Yeah.
I don't want to come off as like a total asshole.
course,
And she's
of
like, She leaves his
course.
home not knowing. She's
No, but
driving
it's
home with
just-
her husband like, fucking guy was an asshole, bro.
Oh, that
you
auntie-
know
No,
what he talked
oh my
about his
gosh,
auntie?
oh my gosh, no! I'm being sarcastic.
Okay,
I'm
solid.
just saying,
You're
like,
rolling with it.
You missed the joke, bro.
Yeah, I
you
have
just
to reiterate
kill that
though.
with kindness. Be like, here you go, auntie. Here's some kulolo stuffed panipopo.
Fuck
You're
that.
welcome.
Poke her with a stick through the cage. Shut up. I'm just kidding.
You
I'm
keep
just
your
kidding.
auntie in a cage?
I do.
Oh my God.
She's so furry, dude. Like fucking, I wouldn't trust her outside. She gets into the trash,
Furry.
dude. She pees,
What?
dude. She's such a naughty one.
All right. Should we wrap this thing up?
Yeah, man,
I think it's getting kind of late. We've been going for a while.
for sure.
Is there anything you want to say to close it out? Like, do you want people to know or you said it earlier, Instagram, so we can follow
Oh,
you
I
and
don't
so you can spread
mind.
your message. Help us
Still
break the
trying to
stigma.
Yes, no, absolutely. I started my page through with my journey, with content from my journey last year of going through. I want to call it my shadow season with my spiritual awakening, and so it was a medicine heavy for me, but it is now me shifting into more education or sharing about it in different. I want to just not be different, but intentionally different in this space. And this space is still very, very young if you think about it. The ganja space, as far as business goes, just in general with acceptance, it's still a very, very infant stage. So just wanting to set that intention differently in this space now while it's starting to grow, because I love following just content creators in general, but there are so many beautiful, beautiful benefits that I feel aren't talked about enough from ganja in a spiritual aspect that can help awaken us all in different ways.
It's true. Back in the day, it was looked at as more as a spiritual sacrament.
Push it, don't tap it.
I'm putting it out. I don't want any more of this. I don't know how we're gonna do
Pass
this
it around,
thing.
dude.
Ugh.
So
I was trying to save
I'm
you.
glad there's people like you out there that's looking at it through that lens, because 90% of people get washed out with, again, we're talking about the Western society and straight economics in the plant. There's a lot more to it than that, You know,
Yes.
people get compensated fairly, I truly believe, but losing touch of that is what's up. You know what I mean? Like the fact that she's looking at it as a sacred sacrament, that's how it should be. And let's keep that intact.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And what about you? Where can people find you?
Wild Garden Supply, 94150 Leo Street, Waipawa, Hawaii.
Yeah. And shall we do our sponsors?
IG, The Grow Guru, Hawaii.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Mills. Mills pays the bills. The best nutrient line out there. Taking good care of your boy over here and Brother Erik and the crew. So shout out to Mills, giving us a shot when no one did.
millsnutrients.com. And then Small Kind High by Solidify, taking your flour and turning it into edible solutions in case you don't want to smoke like this. You just rather eat it.
There you go. Delicious, delicious. They have a little gummy drop coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Check it
Check
out.
out Instagram for that shit.
Shout out to Meat Lux. Quality beef from certified farms in Japan. If you want to get your good slices of Wagyu and all things culinary, hit up Meat Lux at Meat Lux on IG.
Yeah. And shout out to Brutal Mars Arts. Brutal Mars Arts. I felt like I said that too fast the first time. Like people are not going to hear that. One more time. Brutal Mars Arts for the logo. Hit them up for graphic design. There's other like typography, vector graphics, logos, all that shit you can design and help you out. And
Pretty sick.
Yep.
Awesome.
And again, where can people find you on the social medias?
It's just Insta. Ganja Goddess 777.
Oh, 777.
Well, 7 is yeah, 7's my lucky number.
Like
I
angel
guess.
numbers and stuff.
Well, well, the 7 itself is like my life path number. So, and then the 7 of clubs is my cardiology card. But that's all like my spirituality shit. You know, like I said, I'm trying to like find that. It's so funny because all this is happening and I'm like feeling so inadequate or like, no, I'm not ready yet to speak or I'm not ready to like be out there yet because I don't have X, Y, and Z done yet. I don't have like, I'm just figuring out what I actually want to like start posting. And so, yeah, but it's really going to start gearing into that, but not just that because I'm also a mom. I don't want it to just be one thing too because we are amazing human beings by having like our brilliant brains. Like we're all like multifaceted, you know what I mean? So no caps always, but as far as like limiting ourselves on anything. So
Hell yeah,
No
mama.
caps, you mean no lies.
I said
No caps.
no caps always, and I meant that no lies, no caps as far as like limiting us, restrictions, like
Oh.
always, like that's why I paused because like wait, some people might interpret it
I was
wrong.
thinking like, oh, like I know youth slang, no caps, son.
I thought you were
Capping.
good at this
right.
shit, man.
Oh,
no
shit,
cap.
like,
Sorry, that's why I paused it always, you know, because like
Trying to be cool
How the
old.
fuck did I know that?
Trying to be
man?
cool old dad and
I
like
sat all quiet
I
and
just
shit.
overdid it. Sorry, my bad. My bad, youths.
I didn't want
my
to say
bad.
anything. I was like, I'm so fucking old.
No cap.
sorry, but just the limiting. No
Yeah.
limiting. There is no limit. And that's why I said like I feel like our people we're sleeping on ourselves. Our people, oh my gosh, we are such powerful people. Did you know that we had electricity before the White House?
Yeah, at Iolani Palace.
Right. So that's why our people, again, are just such amazing people. And we all have something special about us. And it's that's what your authenticity is whatever it is that's different and special about you that most likely you'll get clowned on for. That's what it is, because society tries to fit us into like cookie cutter molds, but we're all different. None of us, not even twins, have the same fingerprints. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right on. The greatest conspiracy is when they convinced us of our true potential, or like they hid our true potential from us.
That's why they took us over, because we
Everybody.
were gonna,
All people.
all people.
I agree.
You're right, all people.
In the words of the Nyabingi, death to all white and black oppressors.
But as far as our people, we are so amazing, and I just want the best for our people. So
Yeah, death to everybody. That's a real harsh and violent aspect.
That's a
Love
poor
all.
way to close it out, dog.
Yeah, say something positive then. Save us, save us. Well, production crew, where can we find you guys?
Save.
But naked.
Jesus Christ.
Instagram.
Save us. Save us.
oh my gosh.
Turtle Doves, save us.
That's all he does.
He got nothing, man.
He just turned off
He
all the
don't even have
mics.
He got nothing.
He's like, oh, fuck, I forgot to press
You
record.
better hurry before he
All right,
really
well,
does.
special shout out to Moon Rabbit HNL for actually bringing a live rabbit in. There's a bunny in the room, guys.
Keeping us
Hopscotch Houdini.
actually survived the clutches of a cat, neighborhood cat. So
Wow.
yeah, there was one that gave himself up like fucking Billy and Predator.
Well, let's not end it on that. I was trying to end it on a
It's not gonna survive.
cute
your
bunny.
oven.
Now we're talking about dead
Death
bunnies.
to bunnies.
Somebody say something
dinner in a month.
positive.
Jungle Cup, man. Fucking check us
Let's
out.
go.
Say what's up and say what's up. Say you saw us on this podcast. You got a free fucking pack of seeds. Good vibrations to everybody
Yes,
at the
aloha.
event.
You know that every day, like 2,000, like
I don't wanna cut
200,000
off my
acres of
fucking
rainforests are cut down.
positive and then come back down to the negative. What a dick.
Did you know the number one killer of cats is feline AIDS?
Do you know that a mink coat's made out of mink fur?
Wow.
Duh.
I know, just fucking joking. I don't know.
Life vest.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that cute bunny.
buddy.
Oh, all right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank
Mahalo,
you for
guys
joining
so much
us.
for having
Thank you
me.
for
This
coming.
was so fun.
All right, you guys.
Clap it out.
Peace.